Alright, welcome back everybody to Shangui, the sweet Osmanthus. So, we are at a new place and let's see where we are.
实在不好意思，都帮我这么多了。
Receiving the popsicle, I felt a little embarrassed, yeah.
张阿姨那里买一送一。
Oh, that's cool. Gia then opened her mouth and took a bite out of the popsicle she held in her hand, just like a little
买
cat.
一送一。嘿嘿，买一送一是我的特权啦。
I looked at the price list. The popsicle was double the price listed outside. After visiting the path with statues, Gia felt thirsty and led me to a special store. As a result, we were sitting on the roadside next to an old broken trolley, enjoying popsicles. That's the so-called special store. Is this place really a World Heritage Site? The popsicle tasted good, although I had not seen this brand for years.
连冷饮都是全级别的吗？
The little girl seated beside me seemed to be enjoying herself as she wrapped her mouth around just the tip of her popsicle and sucked with seemingly unnecessary force.
咦，这是什么吃法？
Looking at her, I couldn't help but laugh.
哎，姐姐不知道吗？
She seemed surprised with the popsicle still in her mouth.
这种冰棒用力吸的话会比较甜。
Okay, never heard of that before. She seemed to be quite serious and awaited my response.
用力吸吗？
You know, I could make that joke, but I won't. Again, she demonstrated her skill. How fascinating she is.
那我也。
I tried to imitate her and did my best to drain the popsicle of its flavor. It really was sweeter, just as she had said.
哦，真的。神奇吧？
She looked very proud as she resumed sucking her popsicle. A movement evocative of a kitten.
这么吃的话，后面会变得没有味道哦。
I pointed to the top of a popsicle, which had already faded, turned into pure
没
ice.
关系，吃掉。
Okay. She took a bite out of the top, but because of the overwhelming coldness, she immediately blew out her cheeks and stomped about.
没事吧？好冰。
Yeah, of course, if it's ice in the inside, of course it's too cold.
是吧？
Oh, that's all, okay.
下午姐姐还要去哪里？一直麻烦你不太好吧？没事，都说了，今天一天我来给姐姐带路。那真的谢谢了。
Well, by the way, I like thinking about it again. I find her character design, well, Gia's character design, quite interesting. And I wonder if these are really Chinese school uniforms. By the way, I don't know if this was made in Taiwan or Hong Kong or in the People's Republic of China. So, I'll try to find it out. I really wonder. Well, anyway, I wonder if these are really the school uniforms anywhere in Chinese-speaking countries. I thought for a while and agreed.
我记得那是在一片树林里，有一片水面，也不记得是溪流还是小湖了。
By the way, the music is wonderful. But the expression on little Gia's face had told me that it was hard this time.
果然还是太抽象了，毕竟是太平常的景色了呢。哪里，其实我已经有眉目了吧？看起来不像哦。
Yeah. It seemed that she got the point and hesitated.
没有啦，真的已经有树了。那我们出发吧。哦，这边走。不对，大概是这边。
Yeah, she really doesn't seem to know.
这边吗？
It seems she really doesn't know what I wanted to say.
果然还是走这边吧。到底哪边？
Heijia was walking us in circles. By the way, I'm so distracted by the music. The music is really good. I really like the music. It has a Chinese touch, but it is well composed so that you know, Western people could also enjoy it. It's not you know, something we at least I can't understand. But still it has a Chinese touch. That's really cool. Ah, well, I have to concentrate on what they are saying.
决定了，这边，走吧。喂，等等我。
Well, she's not really saying la la la, but okay. Humming a mere tune, we set out on our journey.
夏天在山里走，这条路最舒服了。
I agreed. We made our way along a path in the woods. And actually the path was a small trestled bridge made of wood. Perhaps it was there to defend the grass from the stampede of tourists. Walking along the bridge in the woods was very romantic. As I pondered this, Heijia jumped onto the railing. After attaining her balance, she walked along the fence. Oh, that's pretty difficult with that kind of fence.
小心啊，这样走太危险了。没事没事，我平衡性可好了。
You know, I really like Heijia, or however you pronounce that. I like her voice actress, but you know, they are really they need to be louder, you know? I barely can hear them. At this, she then spun in a circle.
看吧，天天走的，没事。天天都要从这里走。去谢爷爷那里吃午饭，这条路比较近。
Uncle, I think she said Jew? Perhaps he's one of the staff at this attraction. After the stores is a restaurant? It must be difficult to work in such a desolate place.
怎么了？我忘了，今天薛爷爷那里也不开门。
Or maybe Shui.
怎么办？本来还想说忍一忍，到那里去吃午饭的来着。
She sounds really cute. Really, the voice acting is good, but it's not loud enough.
果然是饭店吗？没想起来的时候也就算了，一想到就……
Whoops. Saying that, whoa. I want to be back. Alright. Saying that, Heijia began to falter.
小心！
She fell before I could get the words out.
喂，危险！
I took Heijia by the hand and helped her to her feet. She seemed dazed.
喂，怎么？没事吧？
Probably not.
说什么？凉面。
Probably not.
凉面。薛爷爷家的凉面没有动力。
Yeah, I think she says Shui, so I call this uncle Shui too. Heijia fell to the ground once more.
该不会刚刚碰到我的时候，就还没吃午饭吧？
Oh, I.
嘿嘿，其实碰到姐姐之前就是出来觅食的，结果一高兴给忘了。
How can you forget eating? Eating is important.
喂，不要紧吧？大概不要紧吧。现在我能吃得下5只兔子。
Well, that sounds a little barbaric.
好可怕！你狐狸吗？
Yeah. Finally, you realize. I wonder if is she a. I already mentioned that in the beginning she had a tail and fox ears. I mentioned that in the first part. If you didn't see it, maybe you looked away for a second. But is she a fox ghost, or does Han Hui just imagine her as a fox? Suddenly, I remembered that I had prepared my lunch before I started my journey. It was still tucked inside my bag because of the hot weather.
兔子的耳朵最…
Heijia's hunger seemed to be making her crazy.
要是不介意的话， 我身上带了些东西，要一起吃吗？诶，
Her vigor immediately returned. Her glassy eyes began sparkling once more.
你还真是，也不是什么好东西，将就着垫垫肚子吧。是肚子吗？
Probably not.
没有那么。
The meal contained within the picnic box was quite scrumptious. There was bread, sliced ham, fried eggs, and some lettuce. Homemade sandwiches.
好漂亮。
Even though the sandwiches had been in my bag for several hours, they were all still in one piece. I never managed that. I selected a better-looking sandwich for Gia. This seemed to make her feel a bit
自
embarrassed.
己做的不一定好吃，尝尝。真的，可以吗？反正我也吃不下那么多。那我不客气了。
Gia took the sandwich and then leaned against the railing. After carefully inspecting the food in her hand, she seemed pleased with it. The small sandwich looked quite large compared to her slight hands. She took a bite of the sandwich. Following that, she beamed her approval. Her feet repeatedly flapped against the railing, like a little doggy shaking its tail.
怎么样？好吃。
Bits of food fell from her face in a way that looked like falling cherry blossom petals.
我就说嘛，一直觉得姐姐身上有很香的味道，原来藏着这么好吃的东西。
Anime cliché. Although this is Chinese, but still it's anime cliché.
有那么好吃吗？
I looked at Heijia, and then I took a bite on my sandwich as well. It was the finest I could have done, but it would be a stretch to call the sandwich good. It did not help that the sandwiches had been roasting in my picnic box all day. Bread has softened. However, Gia's smile could make any food taste delicious. You know, it seems as if you are in love with her. No? I don't know, I wouldn't judge that, although you are a student and she's like 13, if I remember correctly, so... But maybe she is just enjoying the cuteness. But if she is enjoying her cuteness, she overdoes it a bit, you know?
还有吗？吃完了。
So fast. I took out another one and gave it to her.
这个瘦松的。
She displayed an expression of great happiness, and then the puppy-like exuberance of excitedly banging her feet against the railing. Huh.
可惜夹在两米有的一拼呢。好好咽下去再说。
Heijia nodded and kept on chewing. How could she eat so fast with such a dainty mouth? I couldn't help watching her as I continued to peck away at my sandwich. After several minutes, Heijia had eaten another sandwich. She licked her fingers and expressed great satisfaction with my handiwork.
不咬。嘿嘿，好吃嘛。
I felt rather glad to be appreciated.
来，
I took out a piece of tissue to clean her mouth and fingers. Her fingers were slender and white, so delicate that it seemed any added force might cause them to crumble. She appeared submissive, as if still lost in a world of food.
有重生的感觉，现在精神满满。
Because of the sandwiches or the tissues. After we had packed up all of the garbage and took a short break, we resumed our trip. Alright. With Heijia acting as my guide, I walked along the wooden walkway and eventually deeper into the woods. After we passed through the woods, we suddenly came upon a wall.
真的是这个方向吗？相信我，没错的，这里是条近路。
Shortcuts are always bad. Usually, most of the time in these kind of games, they are bad. We walked along the wall for several minutes. The The scene suddenly changed.
怎么样？
怎么形容呢？真是
如何？
太意外了。
Too amazing, cool. The ancient walls reflected in the water. In front of the walls and over the lake ran a small boardwalk, which sort of meandered about.
这里是哪里？
千湖，不过我更喜欢叫燕雀湖哦。
啊，
燕雀湖，很好听的名字呢，有典故。
不知道呢，我猜可能是因为四神。
Again, if you want to look it up, you do that. Actually, I don't know so little about China. It's really sad that I know so little about China. I know so much about Japan, not only because of anime, but in general because I'm interested in Japan and stuff. But China, I know next to nothing about China, really. Well, after I played it, I will probably look the stuff up that is mentioned in this game. But of course I can't right now, so look it up if you are interested in Chinese culture. You should be.
四神？
Or she explains it herself.
你看山的西边不是有玄武湖吗？
知道，小时候常去玩。
玄武湖以前叫后湖，这里是前湖，所以
Former name of Black Tortoise Lake was Back Lake, so this place is called... Oh, okay.
前朱雀后玄武。原来是这样，客家懂得真不少啊。
Okay. Yeah, you probably need to look that up to understand it. She seemed to be very grateful for my appreciation of her extensive knowledge on local history. Yeah, you really have to know what's going on. So look it up if you're interested. I'll do afterwards, definitely.
风好凉快。
是吧是吧？前面的亭子，每次天热的时候我都去那里，在里面睡午觉最舒服了。
Siesta in a Chinese game. There was a rather plain-looking pavilion under the tree. Though clearly a new addition, it was highly uninteresting given its location.
等我一下。
While I had stood around taking in the scenery, Egeia had already beaten me to the pavilion. She was already perched atop of a bench waving to me.
不管来几次都很棒。
Look at this picture. This picture is cool. Look. Wow. I really like the drawing style. Look at the mountain in the background.
真的很美。
Though still the eyes, especially the eyes of the character design, are somehow strange to me. They look like triangles. Cool breezes from the lake caused the grim specter of heat to dissipate.
是姐姐找的地方吗？
似乎不是呢。
Gia was understandably disappointed and struggled to hold back tears. Oh my god!
但是真的很不错的地方，也多亏你引路了。
I tried to comfort her. However, what I had said was true.
不知道秋天的时候会什么样子呢？
Probably even cooler.
秋天的时候五颜六色的哦。
Yeah, probably.
太夸张了吧？
No. Of course it's much more colorful than autumn. Why would this be an exaggeration?
再过1-2个月吧，雨一场，天一凉，等到太阳出来的时候，整座山都是彩色的。
Oh, cool. Even the mountain.
那边的枫树，还有银杏和山茶，
啊
好多好多，一片一片的。
Oh, ginkgo trees. Cool.
哗啦一下，全部换了颜色，就像变魔术一样。还有，到时候天特别蓝，印度湖水也是蓝色，还会飘着一层金色的落叶，就像画里一样。
Yeah. This also looks like an oil painting, but I suppose in autumn it would be even better. She said this with great enthusiasm. She almost made me feel as if I were there.
对了，到了秋天，特别推荐对岸的天鹅绒的草坪，铺上一层无丛的落叶，特别松软，躺在上面可舒服了。
是吗？很软吗？
啊，不过有点扎人就是了。但是一躺上去，什么烦恼都能忘记。
My thoughts dwelled upon the scene Hegia had just described.
到时候再来看看吧，一定非常美吧？
那是当然。
Cool. Gia nodded in such a way as if to indicate this was part of her own backyard.
说到秋天，哦，我好像想起来了，我说的那片水面，
Shit.
似乎也是秋天去的。那时候好像穿过了一个全是枫树的山坡。
So it's probably this one.
枫树的山坡。啊，我知道了。
Or maybe another one, okay. Gia suddenly jumped off the bench and took my hand.
我知道了，我知道了，我知道了。
知道什么？
That's what I call excitement.
姐姐找的地方呀，我知道在哪里了。
Oh, cool.
真的吗？
这回决策不了，这边来。
After we rested, we then hastened our pace. The coolness vanished as if we're almost phantasmal.
这么说，好像小时候是来过这里。
A dim recollection remained imprinted upon my mind. Perhaps the old gate had jarred the memory loose.
门票要
跟我来。
Everything is for free in China. Didn't you know that?
等下，我去买票。
不用，都是自家人。
So for locals it's for free?
哎，
My reaction.
真的进来了。
But this is a photo, isn't it? That's a photography. That's not wrong. I think. The guard didn't stop us. Actually, there was no guard at all. I didn't even see so much as the janitor.
这辈子第一次逃票啊！
不算逃票啦，都是自己家，姐姐是客人嘛。
Okay, if it works that way. I was totally confused. Is her family the owner of this park?
这边来。
The path was winding. Every so often you could hear the sound of a nearby stream.
这里好幽静啊！
是啊，平常很少有人来。
Not too bad, it's looking nice. It suddenly came to mind that I had not seen any people apart from her today. Oh, really? As we walked, the sky began to turn grey. I looked up to find the clouds beginning to assemble. I remembered that the weather report had said there would be a thunder shower this afternoon.
还有多远？
这就到了哦。
这里是不是转个弯去是一座桥？
没错。
After we passed the top of the hill, a familiar scent returned.
这么说来，刚刚穿过的山林应该是一片枫树林吧？
不过季节没到，树还都没变红。
I picked up my pace, with a feeling that something lay in waiting for me.
哦，对，就是这座桥。
Where is the bridge? Oh, that's the bridge, okay. That's a small bridge. It was a small cement bridge with worn cast iron railings that was who knows how many years old. The stream below was quite deep. It reflected the sky and surrounding trees. The earthy aromas of grass and soil poured into my nose. When I was a child, I used to walk here with my family. It was late autumn, and the maples all were glowing red like fire. Mom was still young at the time. I could remember that she took my hand, walking along the bridge, and picked up a maple leaf.
再向前是不是有个大荷花池？
没错，就是前面。但是啊，姐姐等一下。
I didn't listen to her and darted forward.
终于到了。
There was a small pond. Though it was summer, the pond was totally lifeless. Bare rock now visible where the pool had dried up. The railing on the damaged stone bridge had disappeared, and a danger notice stood off to the bridge's side. Withered plants encircled the pond. One of them seemed to have been shared.
怎么会这样？
Oh well, it's probably you were there a long time ago, you know.
这里很久以前就开始干枯了，又没人来，也没人护理。
Ah, that's too bad. Ah, the people.
我本来想告诉姐姐的，但是
Well, this is really looking beautiful. I don't know why people don't come there.
好不容易找到
Maybe
这
they have no
里，
time.
结果
No.
是这样吗？
Everyone has to hurry. Everyone has lots of stress. Nobody has time to take time, you know. Nobody can take his time anymore. Everywhere around the world. Around me was a gloomy world. The sky seemed to get darker. I stood there blankly, my senses having temporarily failed me. I had no idea what to do next. Those wonderful family outings from my childhood. I could still remember the sky, the green grass, the pond, even the latest remarkable details. My entire family sat on the lawn in the sunshine. My mother had prepared a picnic. At the time, I assumed that this happiness would last forever. Then, in the blink of an eye, finishing elementary school, entrance into middle school, college entrance exams, everything suddenly became strange. Blame, conflict and tension spread throughout my house. Even now I still do not know what had changed. Tumbling and crawling finally began my college years. It was only after leaving my parents' home that things got better, these dark memories becoming sealed away with time. My parents finally began to appreciate my effort. We all thought that the worst days had passed. The fragility of life once again let us fall into the abyss.
现在连这里，我到底还有什么地方可以去？
姐姐，
My vision became clouded as my eyes filled with tears. I hurried to wipe them out, but it was too late.
姐姐，怎么了？不舒服吗？
没事，沙子。
Yeah, I'm sure about that. But I could hear the quiver in my own voice. In my head, the dark scenes from my memory continued to play before me. Things I should have forgotten or simply did not wish to remember, replayed in my mind like a film without color.
姐姐，那个，
Yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to spread any stereotypes, but especially in many Asian cultures, young people struggle with the stress and the expectations of their parents, so I can imagine that she's having problems like this.
姐姐，姐姐，我要去厕所。
Huh. Gia's unexpected words jolted me back into reality.
诶，等一下，很急吗？那这附近不太好吧？啊！
这边，跟我来。
Gia took my hand before I could respond and ran in a hurry. Had it not been for Gia, I would have. After I caught my breath, I sat in the tea house purple pavilion and waited for Gia. Despite the modern construction, it's a traditional tea house, so it does not look out of place in this park.
该不会……应该不是吧？
What? Was she doing that on purpose? Perhaps I was making a poor assumption. I rubbed my eyes and attempted to focus on the cup of coffee in front of me. Gia's recommendation was exactly right for me. I still did not understand why a tea house was named Purple Pavilion. I was thinking about something unimportant when I looked out of the window. The clouds had gathered in the sky.
我回来了。
Gia was back, her face now pinkened by a faint blush. She smiled and straightened her skirt. She sat opposite me like an old friend. Without so much as a hello, the waiter brought Gia a cup of fragrant Osmanthus tea. The scent of sweet Osmanthus filled the air. It was the first time I had seen another person apart from Gia in hours.
嘿嘿，这是原版哦。
I remembered that the tea she had given me earlier also contained sweet Osmanthus. Had she learned how to make it from here?
很香啊。
是吧？店长亲自动手的呢。
Oh. The waiter beside us smiled. Gia must be a frequent visitor of this tea house.
要交换尝尝吗？
好啊。
Is this some kind of friend gesture or something like this? I turned the cup and pushed it to her, and she reciprocated, okay. I picked up the cup and took a sip. It was weaker than what Gia had given me earlier, but more aromatic. Gia also picked up her cup and began to sip.
好苦。
Huh.
哎，
Ah, yes, right, she's drinking coffee.
咖啡苦吗？
It was an iced latte.
平时不怎么喝咖啡吗？
Yeah, I hate coffee too. The girl was quite ingenuous indeed.
从来不喝呢，总觉得味道怪怪的。
Yes, it does. Then why recommend it to me? Yeah, maybe you look like you need a coffee.
不过茶的话，其实更
Alright, I don't know the tea that tastes more bitter than a coffee.
不过有桂花和砂糖的话就没关系啦。
Well, I don't like sugar in tea either, so... No wonder her tea was so sweet.
又是加在咖啡里，会不会大发现？
Probably not.
味道
Yeah,
大概会更奇怪吧。
definitely it will be different.
交换果然咖啡难度太高了。
I smiled and we exchanged our cups. Gia took up her own cup and drank.
还是这个好啊。
We asked for a refill and Gia asked for more sugar. We shared no words for a little while. We just sipped our drinks in silence. Then came the sound of rain. I looked out of the window as raindrops pelted the glass. Then the sound of thunder cracking.
吓到了。
The thunder continued. The light rain shower had gradually become heavier.
好大。
不过很快会停的。
That's the summer rain. Quick to come and quick to go. That's same as in Germany. We have that right now. The clouds had now hidden the sun, and the tea house had become darker. My sour mood returned.
对了，姐姐，跟我来，
去哪里？
一个好地方。
Okay.
可是，在下雨啊。
就是下雨才是好地方哦。
好吧，稍等一下，我喝完这杯。
不用啦，就在这家店里。
Go in the tea house.
总之，跟我来就对了。
We passed through the hallway. I saw a glass door, light pouring out from it. Was this the way outside?
就是这里。
Yeah, but this is drawn, for sure. It looks cool too.
真是，跟着你总是有惊喜呢。
Yeah. The high walls had turned the yard into an isolated world. It was not a very large yard, but well arranged. The rain was coming down in sheets. The flowers looked crisp and beautiful, having been cleansed by the rain. Maybe cleaned, I think. Behind the walls stood the mountains shrouded in mist, as if in a fairy tale. I don't even I can't see the mountains. I see the mist. So I see the mist though. A small trough that ran alongside the wall guided the rainwater out and away. The rainwater looked like a mountain stream. One can only see this sort of appreciable beauty when it rains.
真是
Yeah, it really. I love it. I love watching the rain, especially when there are mountains and you know the nature's nice and stuff.
是吧？来这边坐。
A conspicuously placed bench located next to the entrance beckoned. It was almost as if it was placed specifically for us to enjoy this temporary wonderment. The bench was very clean. The custodial staff clearly did exemplary work. Oh, a new person. Okay, so I think this is a good point to stop because there will probably start something new now. So, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like it and enjoy it, come back. Alright, so see you soon. Bye bye.